Uh, Welcome again to e-learning. Students, in the second link, now we will focus on the descriptive part. Earlier we have focused on the uh, objective paper, 23 marks. So focusing back on the pre-board 2 exam that you have undergone today. So let us now focus on the descriptive part. First 2 marks questions. First 2 marks question here is 24th question is for character functions in MySQL. So students, you are already familiar with the character functions. So we have different character functions. So here we have huge number of character functions like uppercase, lowercase, mid function, substring. Then we have length function, left function, right functions, L trim, right trim, or trim functions, or in string function. So from among these various text functions, you have to explain any 4 functions. Right? Quite easy to explain. Now students, next we have the disadvantages of mesh topology. As you know, what is the importance of mesh topology is that in mesh topology, you have basically that each system. Here the each system is connected with the rest of the computers. Now what happens when each computer is connected with the rest of the computers? Now there is a tremendous increase in the wires in the network. So what happens? The cost escalates like anything. And whenever a new system is added into the network, so again that increases the cost like anything. So these are the few disadvantages, major disadvantages if you are thinking of mesh topology. The basis of the mesh topology is that each system in the network is connected with the rest of the computers directly. Now students, you look at the basic difference. The question is between iter rows and iter items. Iter row function is basically works in a loop on data frame where the data frame items are accessed row wise, and in iter items in the same data frame it is used in loops, but here in place of rows it accesses the elements in terms of columns. So this is the difference. You can give the example also and explain it like this. Moving to the question number 27, the missing data filled in data frame with some value. Why we are basically putting up values for the missing data? Because whenever we are going to apply on the different functions, aggregate functions, so the many of the functions they get disrupted due to the missing values, because on missing values or like null values the operations are not possible. So that's why the handling of missing values is very important in data frames. Next is the question number 28. Write the code to create a series from a dictionary. So creating the series from a dictionary, I will explain with the help of example. So students, in this particular example you can see here here we starts working on this, that the series has been created from the dictionary. So I have picked up this example from the revision PPT only, that on Saturday we worked on this in the revision class. Recently we focused on this question. So this is the dictionary. You can say this is the dictionary, and the name of the dictionary is data, and with the help of series method it has been converted into a series. First parameter is data and second parameter is index. So You can see, because for value D there is no value in the series, that's why NaN is there in the series output. So this is how the series is created from a dictionary. Now moving on to the next 29th question, apply a arithmetic operation on the series. So again, this is a very easy question that again we have discussed this question in the revision class also. Hope you have gone through that revision class. So this is the code from that PPT, and students, here you can say this is the mathematical operations. Add operation, this is the series 1, this is series 2, and addition and multiplication operations have been done on this series. So this is how we can apply different. Now the size of the series should be same. Here 3 values are there in the first series, 3 are there in the second, and you can see the output on the right hand side. So I think this is quite easy. Now we move to the next question, 2 marks. This is write a small Python code to drop a row from data frame labeled as 0. So जिस भी डाटा फ्रेम का इंडेक्स रो लेबल 0 है, उस मींस फर्स्ट रो लेबल 0 किसका होगा, मींस दी फर्स्ट रो. तो फर्स्ट रो को हमने डिलीट करना है. इसके लिए दिस क्वेश्चन इज बेसिकली फ्रॉम द सैंपल पेपर. तो इसके लिए होता है हमारे पास दैट इज ड्रॉप मेथड. क्लियर, df.drop और पेरेंथेसिस हमने वैल्यू मेंशन करनी थी 0. सो दैट विल ड्रॉप मेथड, आपको पता है ड्रॉप मेथड इज यूज्ड टू डिलीट ए रो, और डेल एंड पॉप मेथड है टू डिलीट द कॉलम्स. सो दिस इज वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. सो इसके लिए कौन सा, अगर मैं यहाँ पे आपको हिंट ही दे दूं, दैट इज इसका सिंटैक्स बनेगा. अगर मेरे डाटा फ्रेम का नाम df है, df.drop जीरो, ये कोड लिखा जाएगा टू डिलीट दी फर्स्ट रो, मींस द रो फ्रॉम द डाटा फ्रेम विद लेबल्ड एज 0 index. Next is there is a differentiate between web server and web browser. Web browser is a client end software and this is the server. So in a client server model, you can say web browser act as a client, this act as a web server. So the example of web browser is like Internet Explorer, and the web server is from where we get the Google web page, Rediff web page, and like this. So any two popular web browsers you have, like Internet Explorer, Mozilla, Firefox, Opera, and so many. There's a huge list of you have to just mention only 2 popular web browsers here. Now moving on to the next question, DDL and DML. DDL stands for data definition language, DML stands for data manipulation language. In DML we have insert, update. So these are the statements of DML. Then is the different types of SQL functions. I have already elaborated here. You can see the different types of, we have mathematical functions, text functions, date functions, aggregate functions. So you can see these are the 4 major categories of functions available in SQL. And now here you can see the second last question is, what do you mean by the database connectivity? So database connectivity is, students, how we connect our Python program code with the database. So that is what we meant by the database connectivity. Clear? So the 4 major parameters are there in that particular method, and the package PyMySQL is used basically for that, and we use the that SQLter is also used, and for that we use the database package for that. Clear? So database connectivity is how we connect the Python code with the with our database. You have to just mention here the function that is used for connectivity. Now the last question in this series is that write a program to print only the name, age, and position of all the rows. Name, then age, and position, 3 columns of this data frame you have to print using the Python code. So again, a very simple question this is. If you still find the doubt, so definitely in the upcoming class we will solve this step by step. I am hoping that it's quite easy for you. Now students, we move to the third section, that is the 3 marks question now. So students, here in 3 marks questions you have to attempt any 4 questions out of the 5 given questions. So let us start with the very first question. Consider 2 objects x and y. X is a list where y is a series. तो x list है, y series है. Both have values. These are the values are given. Clear? What will be the output of the following 2 statements considering that the above objects have been created already? Already x भी object बना हुआ है, using these value y भी object बना हुआ है, and you have to just multiply these values and get the answer, and you have to justify the output. दोनों की जो output है you have to justify. If you want this question to be worked out by myself, you can do it. Students, working on the solution. First we have created a list and we have assigned it as x, and then we have created a series, assigned it y. When we multiply x by 2, so you know the two similar lists are created. This is the list 1, and again list 1 is this x is repeated again. That is you can say the 2 copies of the same list are created. But when we multiply the same as a series by 2, so each element, that's 20 into 240, 40 into 280, 90 into 180, like this. So each element is getting multiplied by 2. So this is the difference between these two. Now moving to the 37th question. What do you mean by the identity theft? So students, the identity theft is basically from the social profiles or any social account. We can take the identity values like the photograph and other details of a person, and we can misuse that. So that is what we meant by the term identity theft. So you can bring up the examples, applied example, and explain it in a better way. So now nowadays, because there is a huge and tremendous shift on the online and social accounts, so this is a very critical point, and you know, this is again for practical use for all of us. Now students, moving to the create a multiple line chart on common plot where 3 data ranges. So 3 data ranges are given and you have to draw 3 lines on a same chart. And this is a question on matplotlib based question. Quite easy it is. If you will raise this doubt, definitely we will take up this question in the upcoming class. But I hope that because we have done this question number of times, and I am hoping that now you are well versed in Python to do this job. Still, if you will want to have any query, we have solved this question in the recent classes also. The 39th question is what do you understand by net etiquette? So what are the etiquettes we should follow while we are using the internet? So you have to give any 2 examples on this. And the last question in 3 marks is a query, and we have solved this query recently also. A number of queries on SQL we have solved in upcoming classes. So here, you know, here this is the primary key and vehicle numbers. This is type of vehicles. Then the name of the company is mentioned here, which has manufactured this vehicle, price and quantity. Like we can take up the first command is display the average price of each type of vehicles having the quantity more than 20. So students, you can see here this is the vehicle table, and this is the answer to the first query, the average price from the vehicle table where quantity is more than 20. Now similarly we can go to the second query, count the type of vehicles manufactured by each company. So students, here you can see the count the type of vehicles manufactured by each company. So you can see here this is the count, and if you want to mention the name of the company also, you can do in the same query by just mentioning here the company also. This is not asking the question, just for your explanation I am mentioning here. So you can say Datsun is manufacturing one vehicle, Mahindra is manufacturing two vehicles, Maruti is manufacturing two vehicles, two type of vehicles, Mitsubishi only one. And similarly you can work on the last, display the total price of all types of vehicles. Clear? So how you get the total price of all types of vehicles? So this is the sum of the all types of vehicles prices there, by multiplying price into quantity and then summing up all the values, so you will get the sum of the value, total value of all the vehicles here. So these are the queries which are asked here. Now we move to the last section. The last section is the 5 marks questions. So students, in the series of 5 marks questions, the first is SQL functions which will perform the following operation: to display the name of the month of the current date. So the date is given, you have to just display the month only. Clear? So how you will do this? So students, here you can see, you can find out the month name from the current date. So first you have to make use of the current date function, and then you have to make use of the month name function. And this December is the month name of the current date. Clear? So if you want to run this current date alone, you can see the current date also from the dual table. Clear? This is the current date, and 12th is the month, that is December. The next is to remove the spaces from the beginning and end of a string like this. So what you will do, which function you will use? So students, you can use the trim function, trim method, to remove from the left side as well as spaces from the right side also. So students, this is the day name. How you get the day name from the date of birth? You have to just make use of the day name function and mention the your date of birth, and you will get the day here, exact day on which you have the birth has taken place. I will move to the next function. Then you have to display the starting position of your first name from your whole name. So basically for this you have to make use of the position method. Clear? We have already demonstrated the use of position method. To compute the remainder of the division between two numbers n1 and n2. So for that we have a mode method. So this is the students mode method where you get the remainder. Now students, on the 42nd questions. So this is the query that we have already done practiced in the just prior to the preparatory classes. And here you can see in this table this is the primary key, that is the ID of the sales number, their name, their salary, their bonus, and their date of joining the organization. Display the sales name and bonus after rounding off to 0 decimal places. So we have to display the names, salesman name and bonus should be rounded off. So we have already practiced this. So just use here the show table. Table is already made here. The name of the table is salesman. Select star from salesman. This is the table, students, and to see the salesman name, select S name, and then the bonus, and bonus to be rounded off. Bonus, for that you use the round function from the salesman table. So this is how the bonus is rounded off with the each salesman name. Now the next is display the position of the, that is again the same sort of a position method is coming here. Display the position of occurrence of TA in salesman name. So you have to tell the position. So for that select the position as TA. So students, you can see the position of TA in SNI. Clear? The position of TA, you can see the TA is coming up in Mehta. TA is coming up, and then TA is coming up in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and TA is coming in Gautam, and position is his fourth position. So this is about the position method. Display the 4 characters from salesman starting from the second position characters. Clear? So this query is based on the substring method, S name starting from the second position and then next 4 characters. So this substring will be displayed as it is asked in the query. And students, now finally back to the display the month name of date of joining of the salesman. So just for your solution, I will first show you the table. So creating the table is very important here. Now then you can apply any sort of query here. So you have to work upon, you can see here in this query, month name of the date of joining. So select month name of date of joining from the salesman table, and on these months, you know, the salesmen have joined the organization. Now students, we move to the next question is, and this is the question that is in Python pandas. You have to solve the following. Based on this panda, you have to solve the following question: add both scores of a batsman and assign it to a column total. So you have to add a column and then apply this operation. Display the highest score in both score 1 and score 2. So just make use of this max function. Then display the data frame. Very easy question in a how to display a data frame. Now the next question is based on the networking. So the distances between the different buildings is given. You have to suggest the most suitable cable layout. You have to connect this, this, and this. This is the layout you have. Clear? If you want me the layout to be displayed. So for students, the second question suggests the most appropriate topology for this connection between the wings is. So you look at the different topologies. Star topology is the best topology for this particular network. Moving to the next question. The company wants the internet connectivity in all wings. Suggest the suitable technology. So the company may use this Wi-Fi technology to take the benefits and to have better connectivity in the organization. Then suggest the placement of the following devices. Justification: if the company wants minimize network traffic, they have repeater and they have hub and switches. So you know, the for repeater, you know, the distance between the two wings is required more than 100 meters. So the repeater should be discarded. They regenerate the signal when it is weak. Hub and switch should be preferred because of the distance. and also they basically the switch minimize the network traffic because it is a unicast method of sending the signals. So these are the different queries to the major solutions to your queries. Hope you have found the today's session quite vital. Still, if you find any sort of doubt, students, so you can contact me. So I'll be very happy to provide the solutions to your queries. So before closing the today's, I thank you very much for attending the session. Thank you, Boda. Thank you very much.